I dropped out of uni, not because I was dumb, but because I was awake. They taught me how to follow. I wanted to build. They gave me a map, but I was born to draw my own. While they memorized answers, I started questioning everything. While they chased grades, I chased freedom. I remember the looks, the whispers. He's throwing his life away, but I wasn't. I was just choosing a different life, one where the world is my classroom, failure is my teacher, and every risk is a lesson you can learn in a lecture hall. You see, some people are wired for the system, and some of us are wired to break it. So no, I don't have a degree, but I've built something they never taught in textbooks. A life on my own terms, a dream I wake up to, not to escape from. I dropped out of uni, but I enrolled in reality. And honestly, that was the real education. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video on my YouTube channel. Today's video is very sensitive and I want to be very careful on what I say in this video. Now perhaps you might be looking into the title and the thumbnail of this video and thinking about dropping out already. But before you drop out, I do want to clarify a few things. As I mentioned, some of us are wired for the system and some of us are wired to break it. Now, you don't know if you're wired for the system or not, and neither did I know if I was wired for the freedom or to break it or not. So what I would like to clarify on is that every single decision that you make has an impact. And that impact could be either very good or very bad, but I want you to remember that every decision that you take is the most important thing that builds your future. Now, this video is not for you to get motivated to drop out, or perhaps this video is not for you to get motivated to not drop out. This video is my own personal view thoughts of why exactly did I drop out of uni and why wasn't I destined to complete my university. Now subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has plans for everyone. Whether you have completed your uni, whether you're thinking about dropping out, or whether you're thinking about completing it just for the paper, just for your parents to be proud, whatever it may be, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a plan for you and you must actually trust it. And trust it with your heart fully, and do whatever that you think is right, because you're living just one life and that one life has to be lived in the fullest. Alright my people, I'm officially taking the walk outside. It looks so beautiful and so gorgeous at this time. There's some sort of, cloud on top that makes it even more beautiful. Allahumma barik. How am I living this life, going out at 2 in the morning? I'm not even worrying about tomorrow or what am I supposed to do tomorrow. So I dropped out of uni a few years ago, not recently, not today, not last week or last year, a few years ago. And the reason why I dropped out is very strange. Some people might not even believe it, but it was because we had a financial difficulty, of course, family financial difficulty, and we couldn't pay off the school or the university. So once we couldn't pay them for I think a few months, they decided to kick us out, and it was a tough time, of course, being kicked out of university, but that's what we accepted. We accepted our so-called faith, alhamdulillah, which was something that we were like, okay, if we're gonna get kicked out of university, I think it's written, right? I think it is what it is. Of course, not just entirely going on this belief, but the fact that we couldn't pay it off and the fact that our time was so hard to pay off for university of me and my brother, we're like, you know what? We might as well put an end to it. So ultimately, when we couldn't pay the fees of the university / college and we couldn't really continue it, we decided to not go anymore. And when we decided to not go to the university anymore, of course, it was a really tough time for me, my family, my parents, because they were like, all right, we want the degree, right? Just like any other parent, they wanted us to get a degree. For us to not be able to get the degree would actually suck, right? We're literally the only 3 child in the house, 2 of the ones who are going to university together, me and my, little older than me brother. And they were like, kind of left in a sorrow situation, in a situation where they were not really happy with themselves, Especially my parents, they were not happy of the fact that we couldn't really continue our university. But that didn't stop me from the fact that I could take advantage of my free time and actually do something much more beneficial. And what did I do? I started my entire business from the fact that I couldn't go to university, I couldn't attend it, and I couldn't go to the classes. So I sat inside my home or inside my room every single day for 8 to 12 hours. 8 to 12 hours every single day working on my mini e-commerce business. And when I started this entire journey, that's when everything changed. That's when everything kind of came to life, and alhamdulillah, things started to pay off. Now, it all started with a mini job or a part-time job that I had, which was, at home, kind of a job. And this part-time job that I was doing at home was actually paying me 1,000 dirhams per month. Now, it wasn't easy. You had to fix 1,000 forms on one singular month by putting the correct data in the correct place. And because of that, subhanallah, I lost my eyes. Not my eyesight, but I lost the way that I could see, unfortunately. What happened was something crazy. I got lazy eyes, and a lot of people told me that it's natural, it's something that you get when you're a kid, but for me it was the other way around. It was something that I actually got because of the fact that I used my computer so much, and I was on my computer every single day around 8 to 12 hours, and I was fixing the data on a screen that didn't have any Blu-ray protection, that didn't have any kind of protection. It was an old computer that would die every 15 minutes, and I'll turn it on again, continue the work, it will turn off, continue the work. And subhanallah, this continued for a very long time, which was around 2 months. And after 2 months, one day, something crazy happened. For that, I'm gonna take a pause real quick to tell you guys what exactly happened. I hope this video is good. I'm not gonna sit down, but let me tell you guys what happened. I got lazy eyes. So one day while I was working on my computer, on my right hand side, I had a mirror, a huge mirror. So when I got done with the work, I literally looked into the mirror as like a, sight, and I look into my right eye, and my right eye is completely diverted to the right side. And this scared me so much. I'm like, wait, what happened? What's going on with my eyes? Why is one of my eyes completely diverted to the right? I did research. Of course, the first night I cried so much in the bathroom. I cried to myself. I told my mom and my dad, and they were like, no, it's completely fine. You don't have to worry about it. This is something that, gets sorted, and you're just having these illusions, but don't worry about it. And they were not telling me because I should have continued the work. No, their intention was for me to not freak out and not get scared, or perhaps not be like, oh, I need to go to the doctor or whatever. Because of course, doctor wasn't even a problem. I did go to the doctor. And that's when I found out that I have lazy eyes, and it was the toughest time of my life. My friends would make fun of me. My coach, my teachers, they would all look into me in a very weird way, right? The teachers that I had outside of college, outside of university. And everyone would look into me and kind of make fun of me and all of that stuff, send me memes. But yeah, I looked into the mirror. I see that my eyes are completely diverted from each other. I get so scared, I start freaking out. What happens next? I started going to the doctor, I started, reaching out to people, searching up on Google. I'm finding out that this is something really big, and the surgery costs a lot. And the only way to fix it is when you're a child and you wear like one of these kind of masks that covers the entire eye, and that's one of the ways to fix it. I realized it's too late. I have the lazy eye, but I still bought the patch, the eye patch. I still did every medicine that I could from my own hands or from my own side to try to fix this, but unfortunately none of it was a solution. None of it actually sorted it out. And I had one of the toughest times of my life, thinking of the fact, how am I gonna get married? How am I gonna get a job? Or how am I gonna do YouTube? Because YouTube was my main thing. I started wearing glasses, people started making fun of me. And indeed, it was the toughest time of my life, but alhamdulillah, I got over it. How did I get over it? Last year, when I made over 1.4 million, alhamdulillah that I made money, boys. Wallahi, this is why I emphasize on money so much. Because if you truly think about it, right, when is the other time that you're going to be able to find a solution, apart from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from anybody else, if it wasn't for the fact that you had money in your hands? If you don't make money, brother, you're not in a good situation, you're not in a good position. And don't think about Islam not promoting money. Islam promotes money in the halal way. You have to make money, you have to live a good lifestyle. Islam does not promote a mediocre life. If you are actually someone who's capable of making money, go out there and sacrifice your time, your way to it, and actually achieve it. Because at the end of the day, if you think about it, one of the worst things you could do is ask people for money, or perhaps be in need of help. This is something that you have to get out of your head. You could not be asking anybody for help, anybody for money, because at times they will fail you, they will not give you the money, and then you're going to realize, I wish I put in the work. I wish I actually did something with my life. And this is why dropping out of college, or perhaps not being able to pay the college and being out of the college, was one of the best things that could have happened to me, alhamdulillah. Because I realized that it's not only about the education that you get in the system or in university or in college. It's about what you get in real life. And in real life, what I realized was that real life lessons are way more important. And as I said, failure is my teacher. Everything that I failed through or I learned is through the failures. People think that I got here out of thin air. No, I had to go through the toughest times of my life, fail more than 100 times and get to this position. So everything did work out, but it was because of the fact that I tried, never give up, and I failed. And I loved failing, because every failure gave me an opportunity to try again, but become better and do better. So that is what I would suggest you guys to kind of keep in mind. Let me see this up. Alright, I'm out here having canes by myself at 1:30, 2 a.m. in the morning. Show me another college student who could do this on a time where he has college, or perhaps the work that he's already doing at this time. It is the freedom that was well deserved for everything that I did for me to be in this position. For the freedom is exactly why I did it. And alhamdulillah for this freedom, because if I didn't have the freedom, I wouldn't be able to actually enjoy my life to the point that I'm enjoying it right now. Being 21, having one of the best lives that I could possibly ask for myself. Alhamdulillah, I'm grateful for everything that I have. And be in this position. Certainly I couldn't have it maybe if I was in college. Or maybe I would have had it. Maybe my dad was rich enough to actually do it. Allahu A'lam, right? God knows best. Thank you so much. So my people, I'm going to enjoy this meal, and I'm going to have the financial freedom that I currently have by the fact that I enjoyed to work at an early age, and the fact that I actually put in the work, and the fact that alhamdulillah, I couldn't pay the college fees and I got dropped out or got kicked out, and I'm out here enjoying my time. Maybe I was a college student, sleeping right now, getting ready for my tomorrow's morning lecture, all of that stuff. I'm not really a fan of it. I'm not really a fan of universities, to be very honest with you guys. And there's a lot of reasons behind it. And one of the biggest reasons is, of course, the fact that I'm not into free mixing and all of these things. My personal, honest opinion. And alhamdulillah, I'm out of that space, out of that option, and I'm out here living by myself, like the way that I should be living. True Muslim, alhamdulillah. I'm going to continue my studies in Islam in any way that I can. May Allah preserve me and make me study Islam in the best possible way. I'm going to try to learn more and gain more knowledge, because I have no problem in gaining more knowledge. But I don't want to be stuck to a system. I don't want to be ending up studying for the next 5 years, 6 years, and then having a 4K, 10K, 20K salary. I want to have the freedom, alright? As I said, some people are wired to break it and some people are wired to follow it. Are you going to be a follower, or are you going to be the one who's going to break it? The choice is all yours. May Allah preserve you and keep you protected and make you take the best decision possible for your future, for your family's future, and for everyone around you, inshallah. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and inshallah, I'm just going to enjoy my time with this beautiful food and this beautiful view, all of that stuff, and may Allah inshallah keep it the way that it is. Alhamdulillah.